TV. So I want you to take note of that. Also with me today is my co-host, my partner in France, and that is Honorable Chuma from France. So I open up now and I say you're all welcome again. So let me start with the panelists. Comrade Jolly, can you please, the mic is open to you now. Can you please make your introduction?
Yeah, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Viewers, I salute you all. I am Comrade Jolly Godala, a London-based political analyst in the United Kingdom. And I'm happy to be with you in the studio tonight. My pleasure.
Thank you very much. Then also we have my very good friend here. That is Pastor Mike Opute from the south of Italy. Pastor Mike, open your phone. It's open for you. Pastor Mike. Open. Okay, maybe we're having...
It's open, but
okay.
Like, yeah.
Okay, anyway, also is my very great friend, a collaborator and a good brother from Germany, and that is my friend, Comrade Victor. Are you there? Yes, please introduce yourself, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
My name is Victor Usaru, and I'm representing the EDO community here in Nigeria, here in Germany. And I'm here to present the view of how we see it here in Germany regarding the events prevailing back home. We are all stakeholders, and we're looking forward to seeing things getting better back home and not business as usual. Thank you very much.
I like that. Not business as usual. Pastor Mike, it is your phone that is probably faulty. Please check your connection so that you can make your contributions. Thank you. So also with us is guests and friends around Europe, and we also hope to have more people join as we go along. So I'm not going to say much. I'm also going to open for my partner in France to introduce himself. Mr. Chuma, please.
Good evening, everybody. I am Mr. Chuma Ibomoche, part of the Schengen Story Media France area. We are all here to see that we say and understand what is going on in EDO State. This is a political period. Election is going on. We are out here to find out why people want to be on that seat. What have they done for us? Who is better to be on that seat? And whose interest is he or she going to protect? It's not an easy thing. Most of us, we see that most political leaders that come on seat, they don't really stand with one manifesto. From one party to the other, you don't know which party you are defending or who you are following. That is why in Nigeria, we don't know who to hold responsible. So today, we want to see how we can understand from all our views what is at stake and what it entails for us to get this done. I pray and believe we will do everything good today. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. That's Mr. Chuma, Honorable Chuma from France. Okay, so let's get into Honorable Mike. I hope your connection is okay now. Can you hear? I think it's network problem. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chuma. Now we go into the let's go now into the main dialogue for today. So I would like Mr. Honorable Jolly. Honorable Jolly, since you might not stay too long with us, please, I want you to give your take on the situation. Give your submission on the political situation generally in Edo State prior to this election. Go ahead, sir.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Mark, and for having me on the program once again. The dynamism at work in the forthcoming election in Edo State has taken a very important note than never before, because Edo State, being the heartbeat of Nigeria, is a center of excellence. Edo State has never had it so good under the prevailing leadership of Governor Godwin Obaseki, who has introduced new dimension, transparency, accountability, openness to governance. He has replicated the template you have in the diaspora at home. What is this template? Making governance, dividends of democracy, available to the masses, irrespective of the party you belong to. So there's no partisan allegiance in delivering dividends of democracy. Prior to his emergence, you had the previous governor doing things the way he likes without adherence to the rule of order. But right now, under Godwin Obaseki, there is a new way of doing things. It's no longer business as usual. Remarkably, the opposition have negatively been trying to distort the narratives. Unsurprisingly, they do not seem to have understanding of the conversation. For instance, Adams Oshomole going about having an MOU governor. Unfortunately, this is a man who should know. He has been in the labor movement prior to his entry into politicking. What is an MOU? A memorandum of understanding between me and you, a government or a company, giving direction about compliance and non-compliance to the terms of contractual agreements. And when you go back to this MOU issue, you can understand why Governor Godwin Obaseki has been very, very successful in the provision of social developmental strides in Edo State. Now, with the MOU, there is a guidance. There are binding expectations of the government and the companies. Governor Adams Oshomole, while he was governor of Edo State, awarded the water store project over 30 billion. Because of the absence of MOU, that project, significant project that would have eased the erosion problems in Edo State. You see, last couple of days here when it rained in Benin City, it was almost impassable because the drainage systems are not working. Because the previous governor, Adams Oshomole, awarded a whooping sum of 30 billion unaccounted for. That is the massive money. Because there was no MOU. Under Governor Godwin Obaseki, the narrative and the perception of governance and to people's expectation has radically and positively changed for better. What do you now have under him? Look at the state secretariat that was abandoned over 45 years ago. It's been renovated and it's in the state of art with MOU. Look at the modular refinery that Oshomole was going on about, scandalizing and trying to scandalize the governor about, is 95% completed. Look at the Bermuda Stadium. Look at the technical college. Then you come back to what you call physical human capacity empowerment, Edo Best. From analog era where Adams Oshomole negatively demonized our teachers as illiterates, you now have a governor that has not only radicalized the process, he has innovated technology and make it digital. From analog era, you now have students and pupils, lecturers interacting digitally and with a modern teaching aids. All this because of a governor who knows what he's doing. So the perception of old, of business as usual, like my right honorable comrade said earlier, has changed. And that is why you see the political elite, very few of them though, are not happy because dividends of democracy is not coming to the grassroots. The people cannot feel what it takes to have a government. And this explains why 95% of diasporans Edo EDGs are massively rooting and demanding the re-election of Godwin Shaibu and his pragmatic deputy, Philip Shaibu. These men are conversant with governance. They know what government is all about, unlike the opposition. The opposition see the means to lead the people as a means of self-aggrandizement, to enrich themselves, to continue with the corruption of the past, to steal from the people, to divert public funds to personal use. Governor Obaseki is a different kid on the block, himself and his deputy. They have taken up challenges in governance to a very new way, and we the people are happy at home and in the diaspora, and we cannot afford to change or substitute good governance for business as usual.
Thank you very much. This is very, very strong here. Very, very strong. I am moved with this rhetoric speech. Mike, APC Mike, are you connected now? Mike needs to be connected. That's the APC chieftain from Italy. Mr. Mike, Pastor Mike, you need to get your network connected. It is your network. It is not us here.
Yeah, but I'm also surprised. Everything by APC seems to be happening negatively now. The network are not working for them. People are not working for them. They are being deserted.
Sir, no, I won't want that, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Please. Mike, it's up to you, my brother. Please find how to get your coverage well so that you can make your input. Okay, while we are waiting for Mike, my big brother is also here, and that is Honorable Victor. Honorable Victor, yes, can you give us your take on this issue, what we are talking here today? Please note that as you talk, sometimes there will be some media that will be showing on your screen.
I've seen that.
One of the media showing on the screen is an advert of EDO STATE, the minerals we have, the old governors, and everything. So take note of that. Don't panic when you see this media fly. So go ahead, sir. Honorable Victor.
Thank you very much, my brother, Mark. I wish to, go back to, prior to Governor Obaseki becoming the governor of Edo State. As we can all, or as we made understand, as you can see, Governor Obaseki is not a conventional politician. He came into the scene with the aim of wanting to change the narrative. Oshomole himself attested to that since Governor Obaseki came into the picture, in fact, it was due to Governor Obaseki's efforts that Oshomole succeeded in his first tenure of government. Let's not talk about the second tenure because that was a shamble. Anyway, we've never had it so good in Edo State. We've never had it so good politically since the time of Ogbemudia, Ambrose Ali. This is the third time that we're having a good governor, coming to represent us in Edo State. Every other person that have come after then has been only there for their personal interests. Sorry, bro. 1 minute. My brother, please. It's very important that thank you. So, like I was saying, every other person that have come in as a governor of Edo State has only been there selfishly to enrich themselves and, misappropriate the public fund. And this is what they actually wanted to continue. Excuse me, please. I'm sorry, 1 minute, please.
Okay, it's okay. We're with you. Okay, while we
sorry, just a minute.
While we wait for our honorable, because he actually told me he will be at work. So we excuse, this is Europe. We all know how Europe is. Everybody, you work, you have to work, and everybody has their schedules and how they move. So we have.
Sorry, gentlemen, I'm back.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So, like I'm saying, this idea of people coming into government, for the purpose of enriching themselves. If I can't have it my way, nobody else. We have all come to agree that it has to stop in Edo State in order for us to move forward.
Absolutely, yeah.
We're trying to change things for the better. And Governor Obaseki brought that to the table. We have, for so long, been waiting for this to happen. So I want to say that we were lucky to have Governor Obaseki coming into the picture to represent us in Edo State. Because, like Oshomole said, Governor Obaseki is not the conventional politician that we all know. He came in to assist Oshomole in his government, and thereafter, as fate will have it, he became the governor of Edo State. Within this short period that he has been the governor of Edo State, we've all seen it. We've all seen his handwork. Like my brother rightly said, there's no point talking too much. The video is in the internet. If you go to Benin now, go and have a look at the Benin Technical College, which was just a shadow of itself from what it used to be in our days. He has completely renovated it to the international standard, and the people are happy. The students there now can be compared to any other students in any other part of the world with all that they have there to learn with. Secondly, Governor Obaseki has equally make it possible for the Edo State refinery to be in the final stage of being completed, almost for 95% completed, which means if that refinery is completed, we know the amount of job that will be generated through that process. He renovated Ogwe Stadium, like my brother said, trained up the teachers in order for us to be able to have good quality of education in the future. He's not just basing his idea on what we're able to produce today, or the level of education or the quality of education that we're able to have today, but he's building for the future. I've always asked myself this question, that why is it that every time any successive government come into Nigeria, what they're talking about is building roads, fighting for electricity. And the story just goes on, it never ends. Why is nobody thinking about investing into industries that will provide jobs for our people? I've come to know people that have been, in the employment market for the past 10 years after graduation. 5-10 years after graduation, still searching for a job, can't find a job in Nigeria. I mean, what kind of society is that, for God's sake?
Okay, sir.
And Governor Obaseki is doing everything he can to change this narrative.
Honorable,
apart from the roads that he has been building.
Honorable, you're going to come back. There are hands raising up. You're going to come back. You're going to continue. But there are hands raising up here to make to ask questions and make contribution. But you're coming back. I like what you're saying. In fact, this is where the matter lies. What you're saying is where we have to go to the basic, and this is it. So let me give Eyitemi, Honorable Eyitemi. Yes, you can make your contribution. Honorable Eyitemi, open up. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Nigerians all over the world. Schengen Magazine, I salute you. You guys are really doing great. I've been in Zoom from the very first time you guys started.
Thank you.
And you're doing a great job. I see also my humble president, President Evelyn, my dear friend Sylvester, and I would like to join my friend that just spoke from Germany right now, and Mr. Jolly that has spoken before. Nigeria, Obaseki is doing very well. This one we know, and I would like to come in not being an APC or a PDP, but someone that supports good governance.
Good governance.
God bless you.
You know, and that is what we Nigerians, especially the ones in the diaspora, should be recognizing.
Thank you. Yes.
Because this is what we are seeing in Europe.
Yes.
In US anyway, we are seeing good governance, even if these people, even if there's a government that wants to steal. No matter how we try to steal, it do something for the people, because it is the people that vote him into that office. So he must serve the people. But in Nigeria, we have a problem where we don't understand if PDP is a Democrat or a Republican, a socialist or a communist party. The same thing with APC, EAC, and whatsoever. So I think this particular point, we should start thinking about good governance and support good governance only in our minds. And I would like to stop here for now, not to speak much of, not to complicate issues, but at least I want us to start thinking about this, not the political parties, because they have failed us woefully. The political parties in Nigeria have failed us woefully. We need to start thinking about the people that can really lead their masses to the future, create job opportunities. We all left Europe. Why did we leave? We all left Nigeria. Why did we leave Nigeria? Not because Nigeria was, Europe is a place that we want to stay all our life, but because our country have failed us. Our country refused to give us food, education, security, basic things like light, road, we don't have in our country. Flood, just a small rain, and you see people dying like fowl. Why? Because of our governments. They prefer to buy their jeeps, prefer to send their children overseas, prefer to loot the treasury and forget about the masses. And we are forgetting that we are more than 200 million people on earth. I would like to stop here for now, please, because I don't want to, I'm speaking out of emotion now. I have to bring myself down so that I could really contribute more better to.
Don't be emotional. Thank
Thank you very much, Mr. Shege. Yes. For now, let me just stop here, please.
It's okay. Thank you for that. Now, while you were speaking, I want to put this to all the comrades. While our honorable was speaking, a slideshow was going on. And why I picked that slideshow is to show more of the mineral resources in Edo State. Please, I want you to listen to the question. The Edo State is endowed with heavy mineral resources. Now, one of the arguments of APC to Godwin Obaseki is that he has not really started tapping into some of the things that he should have done. I'm just speaking for APC people. It's a question I'm trying to put forward. Now, the mineral resources in Edo State is enormous. And Edo State has minerals that if the government, the governors, any governor that comes in focuses on, Edo State can feed Africa. Do you know what it is to have bitumen? Do you know what it is to have zinc? Do you know what it is to have lots of them there in that this thing? There is a particular mineral Edo State has, and that is what is used to build jets, jet planes, and aircraft. So now I put it to the PDP officers. Why didn't the last 4 years, why didn't our honorable governor emphasize more on tapping the minerals deposited in Edo State and using it to create wealth and economy for Edo State? So I want to put that to Honorable Jolly from the UK. Honorable Jolly, are you there, sir? Honorable Jolly. Okay, then
we lost him.
Okay, we lost him. Okay, so maybe Honorable Victor can say something about that. Victor, open your phone.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute myself here. You mute me over there.
Did you hear what I asked? Did you hear what I said?
Yeah,
Okay, sir.
I'm not too sure about the name of that mineral resources that is being used in producing jets, like you just said.
Yes, I'll bring it out for you. So, but go ahead. Why hasn't former past governors enhanced these minerals, massive deposits of different natural resources in Edo State? Why haven't we used this thing to create wealth, create job, and create other avenues for income for Edo State? Why are we focusing on some other things and not even talking of heavy deposits of minerals? Please say something about this.
Well, thank you very much, my brother, for bringing up that question. We all know how the Nigerian system of government works. The mineral resources that are deposited in your area doesn't necessarily belong to your state or belong to the people that owns that particular area where the mineral resources are. It trickles down from the federal government. For you to be able to have any right to mine things in Nigeria, we know how it works. You have to go and get a license from the federal government, get this, get that. And hello, can you still hear me? I don't know.
Yes,
Yeah, we can hear you. Don't worry.
So you have to get the approval from here and there. It's not a thing that the state government can just zero into and then start mining on their own. We all know that Edo State is a very, very rich state. If not the richest in Nigeria, one of the richest states in Nigeria. Until recently, the amount of oil and natural gas deposits that is in Edo State, which is unquantified, were not even known to the indigents. So it was only recently, that all these things all these things started unfolding. What we have under the earth there in Edo State. So the point is not about why the government having started mining those products, those mineral resources. The question that should be asked is whether the federal government has allowed it, because the federal government, as far as I know, should be working with those states in trying to actualize this, to make sure this happened. Because mining is not just a cheap business that anybody or any state can just go into on their own. And even if it is cheap, you still need the approval of the federal government. So I want to stop here for now because I don't want to go too much in detail because I don't have too much part about that.
Okay, good.
We all know that the mineral resources in Nigeria is not just what any state can go into and start developing on their own or start mining on their own without the approval of the federal government. So if the federal government actually wants to help those states, to tap into its potentials, to realize its potential, I think they should be coming up with some initiative here in supporting those states to be able to mine these mineral products that is deposited in our land, in addition to the natural gas that we have.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's not go about what I pick from what you said is that no state government has the right to mine, but that is not so true. To an extent, it's true, being that Nigeria is federal arranged, federal government arranged. But to an extent, it's not true because every state has the power to generate tax and income for their individual state. So because of that, they are open to find means of generating those income that could build up the state. So the problem is probably there is not much awareness about some of these things. Most times, the minerals we have in Nigeria, actually, in Africa, it is the Europeans that opened our eyes to the value and the use. So most times we might just be seeing these things, we don't really know the value and the use until we come to Europe. So I would take it that maybe an enlightenment has not been put to those things, but really Edo State is endowed with minerals. Second question, has our man APC Mike, are you open now? Mike, can you speak? Mike cannot still speak. Okay. I want to put also something again. I don't know if our brother, Honorable Jolly, are you back? Honorable Jolly. Okay, I think we're having network problem.
No, I think he's muted. Okay, he's on now.
Yeah, thank you very much. I there was a problem with the signal earlier. Can I just quickly make some contribution to the earlier point you raised, the issue of solid mineral?
Yes.
We should understand the thing here. You see, the Nigeria Federation, as currently structured, is flawed. A situation where only the federal government has the exclusive right to process the solid mineral is totally unacceptable. There is no law binding, like you did say. Of course, these minerals, they exist in abundance. But let it be known to all viewers and everyone listening that as presently considered as a federal government and states, the Edo State government do not have that exclusive right to exploit these solid minerals. Except, of course, we have to go back, revisit our constitution, whereby the resources eternally available within some states or regions, they can be given the power to access the resources. But again, let us say that is just a distraction from the APC losers. Because you had Adams Oshomole as governor of Edo State for good 8 years. So why did he not attempt exploitation of these solid mineral resources if we were that easy? There is no doubt about it that there are other means that the state government can generate funds. For instance, Governor Godwin Obaseki has established a palm farm in almost all the senatorial districts of the state. Do not forget that the seedlings you took from 9-4 is what made Malaysia what they are today. And the governor has recognized this and is revisiting agricultural development in a very aggressive manner. This is what we should be talking about. The jobs creation, the job we're talking about, the last statistic that came from the Nigeria Statistics of Information says that the job rate in Edo State has dropped. What made it drop? Because you have peasants, you have educated people, graduates being employed in farm plantations, palm kernel industry, all over the place. The one they have it in Ronigbe, you have the others all over the place. These are viable projects, agricultural products that are massively giving employment and empowerment to the emasculated masses in the Benin assets there. So when the APC tell you simplistically, oh, the government should go and diversify, like their candidate was trying to mislead yesterday. It takes, listen to the question, the response from the governor. It takes years. Economic blueprint is not what you just map or envisage within 1 year, 2 years plan. No, it's a long-term project. That's why we are saying Obaseki has an idea about what good governance is. He has created jobs. He has created an enabling environment to allow foreign investors come into the system. We are going to consolidate on this. We're not going to just make all these gains evaporate by allowing people to not have the experience, the expertise, the technical know-how, the willingness, the connectivity with the people at the grassroots to be at the helms of government. When they come to governance, they're going to make sure that all these gains that we have achieved so far under the Obaseki years, they will retard and regress them. We don't want that. We want to move in the same pace as Europe and America. Look at it, we are getting there. The greatest asset any community or state we have is manpower development. Now the governor has identified that. There is no amount of money that will be too great, that will be too much for us to expand, to train our people. And this is what we are doing now. All the schools in Edo State, they are digitalized. All the technical schools are being reformed. Very soon, Edo State is going to surpass not just the states in Nigeria, we're going to be the economic hub center, activity center in the whole of Africa. This the government is doing it. So why do you want to contemplate a change? For failure, for someone who has the experience, please let it be clear that it's not just simplistic to say, oh, why is the governor not exploiting the vast mineral resources? The governor must want to do that. He has had talk with the Chinese counterparts and other foreigners, but then you need the approval of the federal government because solid mineral, as we speak, is on the exclusive list of the federal government. The state has no right, has no power to exploit it. Otherwise, the governor is going to be accused of illegally exploiting and, trying to steal from the federal resources of poor. We are not into that. We are not desperate. Basically, it's played by the book, and that is the way it should be done. Thank you.
Wow. You always have quick, rapid, and sharp-shooting response, Comrade. Comrade Jolly, you're representing very well. It's so sad that our APC Chieftain phone is not connected. He has a lot to say. I don't know what to do about this. Let me open up to some guests, some floor members. Brother Galaxy J7, do you have a question? Madam Evelyn, do you have something to ask? And we also have some other people there. Honorable Fortune Godwin, you're open to make any contribution, any submission you want to. The chieftains, the people are here, noble officers of a better Nigeria, a better Edo State Nigeria. They are here to dialogue with us, to iron out things and open our eyes also to some things we probably wouldn't know. So please feel free to put your questions. I open to my partner in France. Go ahead, Honorable Chuma.
Yeah, I have a question. How I wish Pastor Micah is online. It would have been nice to put this question up to him, but I'm putting it now to the honorables on the ground, Honorable Jolly and Victor, and Honorable Eyitemi. Please, I'm putting out this question. I need some clarification. Now there's tension in Edo State because of this election. How do you see this tension? Is it for the good of the people or not? The people who are contesting that are creating this tension, are they coming to rule for the good of the people or for selfish reasons? This will now bring out the question I want to ask. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Honorable Victor, open your phone, please.
Thank you very much for that question. You see, like you rightly asked, your question is a very, very legitimate one. We have all, it is an eyesore actually, we've all come to note the way Edo State's politics, the direction it has been going recently, which ought not to be at all. And we don't need a soothsayer to tell us the motive, the ulterior motive behind the actions of whoever of the players that are behind this violence that is, that they're trying to perpetuate so that the election will not be recognized or eventually declared inconclusive. That is their aim because they know they can't win an election. If you have no substance, if you have nothing to compare, to campaign on, it's just like somebody that has no basis for arguments. He will be the loudest person. He will be the one that will be talking too much so that, to create a rowdy environment, so that at the end of the day, you don't find solution to the problem at hand. And that's exactly what I think the opponent party is doing right now. Everyone, even the blind man, can see what is going on, starting from how Oshomole started with Obaseki. He has never been fair to him. He began by wanting to unseat him, using all kind of flimsy excuses. We were all watching. When he didn't succeed, he came up with the idea of Obaseki not having a certificate. How can a man that doesn't have a certificate be an investment banker with all the ideas that this man has acquired, helping Dangote to build up his companies, and eventually coming into Oshomole's government to help Oshomole to set up an economic team and help him to succeed. If he has succeeded in that first term, or he actually succeeded, sorry, if Oshomole himself would come out to confirm to us with the Edolites that his success was as a result of Obaseki's efforts, why would he not come and tell us otherwise? The same opponents, opposition party, the man he now brought as an opposition to Obaseki who is Pastor Yamu, was originally in PDP. If this man has a good motive, is it not possible for him to win an election under PDP? I can't understand the reason why they keep flip-flopping, jumping from one party to the other, just because they think this is the party that could rig election for them. Because APC is the one that is in charge at the federal level. They could help them to rig election. I'm sorry, I'm not accusing anybody here. But if you show me your friends, I could tell you who you are. So what am I trying to say in a nutshell? The idea of Oshomole coming to unseat Governor Obaseki by all means in order to present Yamu before us, it's unacceptable to us in Edo State, to start with.
Okay, thank you very much. Can we hear you, please? Honorable Jolly, can you please air up a little bit for us to know your take on this?
Honorable Jolly,
please unmute your phone.
Yeah,
okay.
I've got it. Yeah,
okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, it's very important, pivotal for us to do a brief historical analysis of the major protagonists of this Edo politics. Now, when the masses, it's almost obvious, even to neutrals, that the opposition politicians recognize that the mass of the people have chosen their destiny to lie with Governor Obaseki. Just look at the antecedents right now. Prior to the formal declaration of electionary campaign in those states, the APC candidate, Pastor Yamu, who Adams Oshomole gleefully referred to as a pastor who carries Bible in the day, but at night is carrying AK-47, has a history, an unenviable history of violence. While he was speaking to some of his supporters, listen, he violently, rhetorically advised his supporters to flout electoral rule by encouraging them to move from polling units as lions and tigers. They will conduct election in one ward. They will disrupt it. They will move to another ward. Some of them are too so dangerous that they can even go to another local government to disrupt federal polls. This is in total violation of electoral rule that forbid any voter from moving from one polling unit to another. And this is a man who is a lawyer that is now legally advising his own supporters to breach the very convention of the electoral law that he seeks to seek a political platform into office. So now when you're saying the election or the whole place is heated up, of course it is. Who is responsible for this? Of course, the opposition. The PDP, when they flag off their governorship campaign, in company of other governors, were physically manhandled, assaulted at the entrance to the Obabini Palace. It's unheard of. They were shooting. There were all sorts of hooliganism. These acts were perpetrated by APC Yamu and Adams Oshomole. So, for you to have a clearer perspective of who is responsible for this, Governor Obaseki is a technocrat. He's not used to thuggery. The Kabakas, these are thugs we know that Adams Oshomole and APC have successfully used in years to truncate elections in Edo State. When Oshomole is not using his thugs, his infantry division to manipulate, threaten, and intimidate law-abiding citizens in Edo State, he's using his illegal House of Assembly members to illegally invade and hold illegal meetings with a view to causing breach of public peace. You can see to it. You can see to that. So there is a very clear, glaring violent pattern from Adams Oshomole and his governorship candidate Yamu, who are, deliberately or not wanting to obey the rules because it's almost clear that they are not going to win the forthcoming elections. So what they have chosen to do is to be violent, disruptive, and ensure that the election doesn't hold. And in all this act of intimidation, act of violence, commendably, Governor Obaseki and his deputy Philip Shaibu have restrained their supporters from retaliating. If they had retaliated at the shooting that happened at the Oba Palace, we would have had mayhem, bloodshed all over the place. If the Edo people have taken the law into their hands, when Oshomole and his illegal House of Assembly members try to go there and hold proceeding against the law, they would have been troubling the land. The tigers and the lions, we are calling on the federal government to come in and cage them, because they are the ones going all about, doing all the shooting and the killings, trying to make sure that the Edo election do not hold. And what is the reason for this? Because the very few elites who are being deprived of what they used to know as business as usual are angry, and they want to make sure that we do not elect our governor on September 19th. But we're going to do that. But we are calling on the federal government and other security agents to please help avert violence in Edo State. We know who the perpetrators are. You do not say it's PDP. No, it's clearly APC and his boys that are doing all this evil. We know them. Kabaka said on live TV that they are the lions and the tigers, and up till now, the state security have not done anything about it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Before I take my next question, please, I want Mr. Eyetimi. You spoke last time and you made us understand that you're neutral. I would like to hear your take on this, please.
Bless you, my brother. Not really that I would say I'm a PDP person, kind of, since Obaseki have left APC. But structurally, before Obaseki left APC to PDP, if we look at the way the candidates were structured, with all due respect to all the candidates from all parties, you know, they stand no chance against Obaseki. Let's be realistic. They really stand no chance against, winning the elections, you know. But the problem in APC is not really the APC members, but the EPM. We should remember that these people are EPM members. You know, they are a fraction that wants power by all means. They want the fraction that wants to be collecting revenues, the fractions that wants to be celebrating 1 billion and want to enslave the people, the fraction that wants to keep the Edolites in the same direction, the way Nigerian politics, is always being run. You know, because what these EPM members want is exactly what is happening in all states in Nigeria, whereby the so-called big men, the so-called professional politicians will be enslaving the people. In Nigeria today, we don't talk about governance, we talk about ruling. You know, these people are not there to rule us. They are there to govern. They are there to work for the masses. This is what Nigerians should start understanding, that anybody elected to that position must serve his citizens, must work for his citizens. It's like you be a doctor, a lawyer, a bus driver, or whatsoever job you have. Being a governor is also a job. The only thing is that you are the first citizen, and you being the first citizen, you are the one that is to sacrifice for the masses. You are the one that will do for the masses. You know, but we have taken Nigeria politics has become, let me go there and wow, I'm now a millionaire. I'll be getting all the contracts. Then I'll blow up this and that. No. And if we talk about also the violence that they are bringing into Edo State is not an easy state. Edo State that I know, it's not an easy state that one group will just come out and say, I'm the one that have the monopoly of violence and power, so the rest other ones will like bow to me. Edo State is not like that. If you are stubborn, the other ones that is more stubborn than you in that state. But what Obaseki is bringing in now is that is letting the people know that violence cannot really win. You know, the more you are violent, the more you are destroying yourself, the more you are killing yourself, But that doesn't mean the APC will just keep quiet and let DCPM members have their ways, you know. But it's like it's teaching the Edo people how to know themselves, how to know what they want, you know, so that in the near future to come, because Obaseki will leave now, but who will come next? Will he follow up the things that Obaseki is doing? You know, these are the things that we have to start thinking. I mean, question we have to start asking ourselves, you know. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Then I'll give you my main question, which revolves around this. It's open. Please, I want to find out, the violence is there, things are going, and we are, complaining about them. From what we have seen, Obaseki was with Oshomole when he went on, and now he's laying down some works, programs. Here they say they plan 2030, what they will achieve, and this. So now I want to understand, please, I would like you people to tell us what are the problems of Edo State, and is Obaseki tackling these problems very well, or is Pastor Sagie going to tackle it very well, or any other candidates that are coming up? Which of them can tackle these problems of Edo State very well? Thank you. Okay, Jolly, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yeah, it's done. It's all right. And what I'm saying was, I need to make it clear here that Governor Obaseki has set a very working template, and you cannot move from light to darkness. And what is this template? Before Obaseki assumed office as governor, the revenue accruing to the state government from each local government in total was about 25-30 million. So, but when Obaseki came, this is where the problem is. We should be looking at the real issues at stake here. During the time of Oshomole, the revenue accruing to the state government was about 20-30 million from all the 18 local governments. The reason for this, why people were celebrating 1 billion, because the governor then, at Oshomole, empowered them to be using revenue that accrued to the generality of the people of Edo State for personal, enrichment. So the money that was coming to the state coffers was meager. But when Obaseki came, he had to overhaul the system. And he said, the money of the government should be for the people and for everyone, not for a very microscopic few. This is where the trouble started. Now, he disengaged these Agbero contractors who in the May, while they were carrying out these services, were very brutal, thuggish, humiliating our women, beating our drivers and ensuring that only the chairman vehicles were loaded first, priority here and there before even peasants or other people could even load their vehicle. It was very well, not a good system. So Obaseki has to revamp. Now, from the meager 30 million that was being generated monthly, the current eternally generated revenue of the state government stands at 350 million naira monthly. Can you look at that progression? Equally, before the governor came on board, it was practically impossible for you as a diaspora to acquire your CFO. I tried to get one there during Oshomole. I ended up paying close to 1 million naira. Last year, under Governor Obaseki, I acquired CFO for 50,000 naira. Can you imagine that? This is a governor that doesn't just care for the welfare of the people. He opens up the economy and makes it more attractive. The behavior of CDA agents who go about selling land twice, speculators. You buy land today for 2 million. Next week, you are buying it again for 3 million. No. Obaseki has said, good management means every man has to work to earn their money. He has not only done that to make sure that the state gets the money, he has brought confidence and investment. That is why you see the employment rate in Edo State is going up, because we foreigners, Edo people in the diaspora, we are sending back our money to invest and employ our people directly and indirectly in the labor market. This were not happening under Oshomole because it was the government for the Agberos and the exclusive, the exclusion of the mass of the people. So right now, with the index financially under Obaseki, there has been progress in terms of internally generated revenue. Every government needs money, especially now with the global market and pandemic that has made sure global revenue drops. But don't forget also the revenue has dropped since the pandemic started. But we are saying that so far so good, Obaseki has shown a better management of money, finance, than Oshomole or than, let's not even go to Israel Yamu. Israel Yamu was the former secretary to a Loki government that failed and that denied the state of their vast resources for 8 good years. He was secretary to the government. He was also the chief of staff to the governor. So I don't think he can do anything or bring anything, that is a piece of new, innovative, that will make government productive in Edo State.
Okay,
we are not going to go back to the years of the Egyptian locusts at the 8th.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Honorable. I want to bring us to know that we have with us also Honorable Comrade Stanley from Nigeria. That's the coordinator of General Edo Diaspora. Comrade, you're welcome. Sorry, we will be.
Thank you very much.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Introduce yourself, please.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for having me. I am Comrade Stanley Usazo Sakwilokudi. As you've rightly said, I am an ardent supporter of the re-election bid of Governor Godwin Oriase Obaseki. And I'm doing this on the basis of personal experience as far as the administration is concerned. And I think I can better estrail this part when necessary. So I know discussions have been going on before I came in, and I think it is expedient that I throw more light on the discussion.
Thank you. That's it. Go ahead. The network.
We have a wonderful network at home.
Yes.
So while we wait for him to come back, please, Honorable Victor, can you give us a little insight on the question? The question is, what are the problems facing Edo State? And do you think Obaseki is tackling it very well, or that Osage will tackle it very well, or the past ones, has any of them tackled the problems of Edo State better than we have now? Thank you.
Okay, the question is meant for Honorable Victor. Victor, go ahead. We wish Honorable Mike will just be part of this because he actually has a lot to say too.
Thank you very much. I'm happy you asked this question because nothing has bothered me so much like the problem of unemployment in my state. As you might recall, the problem of women having to, leave home to take that horrible risk of traveling through the sea, traveling through the desert to get to Europe, hoping that, it is here that they will meet their great green pastures. Whereas if there have been employment at home, if there have been jobs at home, a lot of them never have been having a second thought or even be thinking about traveling abroad in the first case to go and, find something for their family or in order to be able to take care of their loved ones. And this problem, Governor Obaseki started tackling from day one as soon as he stepped into the government house by, bringing our women back home and helping to, rehabilitate them and helping them to stand on their feet again and providing, helping to train them so that they could eventually be able to fend for themselves. This year has been doing well. And beside that, I've been abroad now for almost, God knows, for ages. I don't want to start telling you how long I've been abroad for. The greatest fear I've been having is this idea of me not being able to return home one day. Why? Because of the insecurity. When everybody around you are depending on you, no matter how rich you are, or no matter what you have, you are still a poor man, because by the time you give to this, give to that, give to the other one, you end up with nothing yourself. You become like one of them. But Obaseki has been creating an enabling environment for jobs to thrive, for industries to come in and invest. I mean, for investors to come in and invest. Build industries, create jobs for people. When they have something to do, the crime wave will go down. And I don't mind to say it's the devil's workshop. Now you tell me, for a young man that left university 5 years ago, has no job, he's been seeking for employment. I remember, let me quickly, go back memory lane. There was a day I was walking close to the airport. A young man came up to me and said, "Oh, please, I left university about 3 years ago. I've been searching for a job. I haven't been able to find any. Right now, I went to look for a job. Unfortunately, I don't have the transport to get to where I'm going to. And I've not eaten since morning. Can you please pay me some change to just get to this interview?" And look at this young man. In a society where thieves are chiefs, graduates have nothing to fend for themselves. They have no job. They have no. There's nothing to resort on. I mean, to look up to. A guy that left school ages ago can't get a job, and you and Agbero will be there celebrating 1 billion. Because this money that should have been used in providing this employment, building industries that will provide employment for the people, have been converted to your personal property. So, Governor Obaseki is stepping into the picture to stop all this, and then using, managing the people's money properly, being prudent with this money, that it can no longer be the way it used to be. Let's use this money to help our people to stand on their feet, to improve the living standard of our people. That's the only reason why they are fighting him. They know that they cannot.
Thank you very much. So I will have to cut you. I'm sorry, because now that our comrade from Nigeria is online, we don't want to lose him again. Please, I'm sorry.
No problem.
So, Comrade Stanley, unmute your phone, please. We need to hear.
That has been. Yes, that has been done.
Good.
Thank you. First, as I've earlier said, I remain my humble self, Comrade Stanley, and I'm then supporter of the Obaseki administration in Edo State. And to be candid with you, I have to use myself as an example, because by the power of our ubiquitous God, some of us went to the 4 walls of the tertiary institution, and we graduated successfully, in fact, with the flying colors. But before the advent of the Obaseki administration, it got to a time we begin to think that going to school was a waste, owing to the fact that some selected person can sit and celebrate a billionaire, even without having any source of livelihood or academic prowess, as the case may be. So as then to some of us, hello?
We're hearing you.
We're hearing you, sir. Go ahead.
So as then to some of us, to be candid with you, academic was like a waste. Under the Oshomole administration, which as I was a human rights activist before I became a politician. Under the Oshomole administration, people can go to government house to shoot gun. Instead of the security agency to arrest them, you see the security agency saying, "This man is so and so. Do you know this other man? This one is that guy. That is this one." So some group of persons were considered as a demigod. A mere Agbero who has nothing to offer was seen as an untouchable. Some of them can even visit the office of the then Commissioner of Police with a locally made pistol. It will be with them. It's just a matter of visiting the Commissioner of Police, leaving the amount of resources in their pocket with the Commissioner of Police, and they go. Now, for you to get position into an office created by Oshomole called Executive Director, it's either you slap a senior politician or you throw away a canopy being used by a group of persons to hold a meeting. Maybe that meeting is not in agreement with the stand of the Oshomole administration. If you engage yourself in such actions, you become, and you have the opportunity to become an executive director under the Oshomole administration. So some of us will begin to think, are we going to diversify our idea? Are we not going to join this Agbero so that we can be able to benefit immensely from our collective administration? What about the issue of courtism? Under the Oshomole administration, we witnessed the first ever courtism security summit organized in Edo under the watchword of the security agency. As again, when countries engage themselves in crisis, in wars, instead of the government to look for a way to crack them down, the Oshomole administration calls on the leadership of these various groups, gives them money to say, please stop fighting. When they receive the money, they will call their lieutenant to order not to continue fighting. After the money must have exhausted, these two leaders will call themselves again to call the lieutenant to go back to war and fight, so that government will come to give them financial gratification and honorarium. So all this was on ground. But when Obaseki came in, first, he sanitized the system. Now, as of today, let me not go far. Let's just talk about this current idea called the simple agenda. And let's liken it with what Obaseki has achieved as an administration. Under the Obaseki administration, Israel came with the simple agenda. What is the simple agenda? S means security. Under the Obaseki administration, out of the all governors of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we all know that security architecture lies in the hands of the federal government. But because of the wisdom of the Obaseki administration, he came out with what we call the Wabaisi gun. The Wabaisi gun, which involves different security agencies coming together to form a basic squad. You have the military, you have the police, you have the civil defense, you have all the security agencies coming out as Wabaisiga to ensure absolute security. As I told today, Obaseki administration does not give a damn to any courtist. In fact, when you are caught engaging in courtism-related activity, you will be sanctioned and thrown to prison. So since there is no encouragement in that regard, people tend to desist from such action, which simply means that no human on earth can guarantee absolute security. But with the effort of the Obaseki administration, we have been able to see some level of security. Now, beyond that, how about the next one, which is I, infrastructure? Hello, are you hearing me?
Very well, very well. You're speaking well, my brother.
I is infrastructure. Now, the question is, which other infrastructure will Israel build beyond the infrastructure that have been built by the Obaseki administration? First, as of today, Obaseki has been able to construct series of road network. Over 2,000 projects has been executed by the Obaseki administration. It goes beyond road construction alone. Let me set a classical example: the Lucky Way, the TV Road, the Upper Zagbon Road, and many more across the territorial district of Edo State. Beyond that, what about industries? As of today, there's a great correlation between the infrastructure and the P. When it gets to the P, I will explain. Then you get the Osioma power plant and the modular refinery. But let's go beyond that. Now, we've talked about the infrastructure. What about the aim? Manpower development. Within 3 years, Obaseki has been able to train and retrain civil service employees, staffs as the case may be. And our youth have been trained into different vocational training. As I told them, we know the Benin Technical School development. We know the innovative hub. The Obaseki administration has been able to train series of individuals. So as of today, instead of a graduate to begin to look for employment, graduate is now looking for an empowerment because a skill has been embedded on each and individual. That is, recall, a man called Mr. Fabomo said in his music, he said, Obaseki believes in ensuring that you need to have handwork even if you're a graduate, and that is what the Edo Innovative Hub is doing in Edo. So I don't know what this AM will bring differently after the aim. Now, let's go to the P, which is public-private partnership. As of today, the Obaseki administration has been able to attract Osioma power plants, which will stabilize the power infrastructure in Edo State. Now, let me tell you one fact. In Edo, we need just 250 megawatts to have electricity in totality. We generate over 1,000 megawatts in Edo on a daily basis. The question is, why don't we have light in Edo? Now you break it into territorial ramification. In power development, you have what we call power generation, power transmission, and power distribution. Now we've been able to generate power We've been able to transmit power. The question is, why is BEDC preventing Edo people from having light? And that is what Obaseki will do when it comes to the second term. Some of us, we are privy to the fact that Obaseki police said in a meeting, I don't want to see Funke Oshingudu when she escorted members of the electricity control company, something like that, who visited government house. He said, I don't want to see her because I have no reason to explain to Edo people why they don't have light. We have power in this state. Beyond the pay. Now, we've talked about the modular refinery. We could record that someone police said there was nothing like modular refinery. Later they came to say it is owned by private. And later they came to change the narrative again that they have no stake. But as of today, the federal government openly acknowledged the fact that there exists a modular refinery, that a government MOU attracted the modular refinery, which is about 80% completed in Edo State. So I don't know the public-private partnership that Israel would bring that is beyond what Obaseki had brought in 3 years. Now, what about the leadership by example? As we speak, under the Oshomole administration, he attacked and he sought elders. Which example will Israel bring out? Is it to tell people to begin to move from one polling unit to another? To cause mayhem? We could record that in a video. He said, you can leave. Some of you are so dangerous. Lions are tiger. You are so dangerous that you will do your unit to another unit. You can even move from your world to another world. Is that the leadership, for example, that the simple agenda will bring? Then lastly, the E, which is employment. As of today, I made bold to say that Obaseki have not been able to calculate the number of jobs created because to me, I believe the job exceeds 200,000. Now, the truth is, we do not need to attack the likes of Israel and Mushwale. Saying talking English is not enough to measure intellectualism. Intellectualism can be better measured with your ability to understand what should be done at a specific time. Israel and Mushwale does not know that government cannot employ everybody. The primary responsibility of government is to create security of life and property and to create an enabling environment. As I told you, only the CFO office has created nothing less than 30,000 indirect jobs and over 5,000 direct jobs. Beyond that, recruitment in various ministries and parasector. As I told you, Israel has forgotten that the ESMA was employed by these administrations. As well as we speak, Obaseki has been able to touch lives of people in all ramifications. No Agbero today can boldly come out to celebrate 1 billion. We are now gradually migrating into an egalitarian society, which we all crave for. So I strongly believe that it will be a gross misconduct and mistake if we refuse to re-elect Governor Godwin Obaseki for the second term. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Comrade Stanley, I didn't know you're a powerhouse of ideas and so much to say. Thank you. It's a pity our APC chieftain here is having connection problem. It's just a pity, and he came all the way. Anyway, you've all spoken very, very well. I don't want to take much of our time. Thank you so much all for honoring this invite to this dialogue season, and we hope and wish and pray that your desires and your choice will be the one that will come to pass.
How can we share this to Facebook?
Yes, it will go right away to Facebook. It will go right away. I will send it to you right away. So right. I don't want us to delay much so that some honorable gentlemen can go back to their various activities. All I want to say also is also Edo State should consider having in the future a female. Let Edo State bring us the first female governor. Yes, let Edo State consider having in the future for us in Nigeria a female governor. Let's work towards that because the women have a lot to offer too. The women have a lot to offer, and so far I see more faces showing from Edo State, more women leadership showing from Edo State that I hope we will give chance to next time. I also want to say that let the incoming governor, whoever he is, please look into the natural resources and the minerals in Edo State, and let's enhance it and use it to better the life of people, increase employment, arrange income for the state, and do more things for the state with natural resources. There's a video I showed earlier on. I was opportune to show that video to some investors in south of Italy, and the video was showing more of what we have in Edo State. Edo State is filled with huge mineral deposits. Thank you. So I'm opening up to my assistant in France. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Chuma. Go ahead as we begin to round up.
Yeah, I want to use this special occasion to say thank you to all of you that are here and to all Nigerians watching out there. I just want us to have this at the back of our mind. No matter what you do upon this face of the earth, you can never go with your billions. You will leave all that behind. And we were taught that wherever you come into, if you don't like the place, make it better. Always let history remember you. Ruling people is not good. Leading people is good. Let us practice governance. Let us also move towards the directions that the next generation will emulate. Let us try and practice government of continuity. APC, PDP, SDP, ZYY, or whatever you call yourself, they are all one party, because you can move from one party to the other. So let us see, whenever anyone comes on seat, please do not rubbish the good projects of other people. Rather, continue with them. And like that, we can be able to overcome this problem of every government that comes, we are still battling of road, water, electricity. Let us move forward to creation of industries. Let us move forward to making our nation a better state. Thank you very much for coming, and let us also shun thuggery and violence through elections. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, we still have hands being raised here. Yes, Madam Evelyn. Madam Evelyn, go ahead. We have to give the women the opportunity to speak too.
Good evening, Schengen Magazine. Good evening, Honorable Jolly. I greet everyone in the house. Good evening, Mr. Temi. Good evening, Mr. Chuma. Good evening, Mr. Victor, Mr. Stanley. I greet everybody in the house. What I want to add, because I heard when Schengen Story called me, I was listening what everyone was saying before. As the president of Nigerian Association Ferrara, my name is Honorable Evelyn Nahom. I'm a female president representing an involuntary organization. I know how it is very, very hard and difficult to rule. So I decided to listen first what we are all saying. And I got to a point where I said, just like what Mr. Chuma is telling us, whatever party you are is not important. What is important is our welfare. To me, I wish anyone good luck that will win the election. But what is our concern, mainly concern as a president of a voluntary organization here in Italy? We have so many challenging problems here. It is not really easy for us in Nigeria, especially more than 50% of people from Edo states. It is not easy for us. Even somebody was mentioning about single mothers. Yes, there are so many single mothers here. And it's not also easy for them. We have also our young boys, no job, no experience, no handwork. It is not really easy. It's not just by going to the Mediterranean Sea and come to abroad. That is all. No, you have to start from somewhere. And I don't think anybody that was coming from Nigeria brought a house or a bank account to start using so our money. We all start from somewhere to start picking up our life. Many of them, this period, I help a lot of Nigerians in doing this, their amnesty document. For 2 months, I will tell you, I wasn't myself because many of our people, they could not even write their name. I know the stress I went through every evening, every night when I come back from work, I'll be going through these things and make sure that there is no mistake, because here in Italy or maybe any other developed country, if you just make mistake, even for age, it becomes totally another person. And to change it, you have to get a lawyer. So you can imagine what I passed through. Maybe somebody who has fifth form before will understand. So what am I trying to say in this essence? That whosoever that when I give them good luck, but for me, I'm not an APC woman, I'm not a PDP woman. I'm for every single woman being that is living on earth to prosper. This is my motto. And whosoever that is looking for help, whether man, woman, or a child, if we have the help, we are ready to give out the help. For me, as a president, who is still passing our first tenure now, I would love Governor Obaseki to also go for his second tenure, because every first tenure is where you understand what you are doing and what the people, you start knowing people in your first tenure. But by the second tenure, you already know what to do, so you can even do more better in the first tenure. I will not tell you I'm a politician, but what I'm fighting for is the benefit and the welfare of our people. It is not really easy for us here, especially we that is always taking care of the immigrants that came through the sea. It's not really easy for us. We know their story. We know what they are passing through. I want to use also this opportunity to call on the Edo State governor, if there's any assistance, they can assist us. Not by what someone was saying in the group, said that they want to bring out the women to rehabilitate them. No, it doesn't call for that. As long as they are here, there are people here who can assist them and put them through. All we need is just the support of the government to assist us, maybe in fund or anything. Meanwhile, those at home, to avoid them taking through that bad route to come to Europe, there are so many things you can teach them. It's even easier to learn job or to go to school and graduate easily in Africa than when you come here, especially here in Italy. The language barrier is really challenging for our people. Many of our people don't know how to speak the language, and they're not really finding it funny. And many left home because they've not seen these words of school before they left home. So you can, such people, there are some people that really have the interest to do something even more than what you might thinking they can do, but they don't have anybody to assist them. So if there is any way the governor of those states can empower us that are already in the system to assist this kind of people, we'll be very happy. It doesn't call for to send anybody back home, as long as the person has not committed any tedious crime that will warrant the person to go back home. There's so many means to assist them. There's so many they can raise any fund to assist women who are single mothers with children, even young boys to learn work. There are so many of our young boys, they have been in the camp for more than 4 or 5 years. They're already getting frustrated. I will tell you, I have about 4 boys who are already depressed in the camp, and I will tell you what they are going through is not really funny. It's not because they were like that when they came in, but the system made them to become like that. But I believe that since majority of them are from Edo State, if the Edo State governor can assist them by raising funds to assist them here, it's going to be good to you. Maybe there's any way to go through the government here to create. It's not only about job; it's having skills. They can learn. For example, if you are a capital before you left home, they can put you for school, because here, even though you are a capital, you have a certificate, you come from Nigeria. As long as you don't understand that language, you're going to start from the crash. Who is that person that is going to leave his hustling, that puts food on his table and pay his house rent to go and start learning what he or she has learned home just because of the language barrier? It's difficult. This is the kind of funding I'm asking the Edo State government to assist our people here. By funding them, to go back to school, at least for 1 or 2 years. Then they will become perfect. They can even teach others coming. We have more people who are more learned and more having talented jobs. We have people here who can play tech, but just because of they don't have the document, they don't have the criteria to go into open their own shops, they don't allow them to do that. But they cannot still leave their shorting or one thing they are doing to go to school, because before you finish the school, it takes 2 or 3 years. And by so doing, what will you be eating before then? So to me, the government can fund money to assist such people to go back to school to continue their work. It will be very nice. So by so doing, they can even create job for themselves and also create job for their loved ones that is close to them.
Thank
This
you.
is my contribution. So
Thank
I wish anyone that won the next government election in Edo State a good stay and a happy government. And I pray that things will change for the better.
Madam Evelyn, you are wonderful. Now, I hope Comrade Stanley and some of the comrades here are taking note of some key points she said. Skill acquisition. Yes, skill acquisition is one one angle the government of Edo State can go into. Skill acquisition, it's vital. Any economy of any country is based on the youth acquiring skill and using it to create employment for themselves. Skill acquisition is key. This is the key. One major thing we need in Edo State and also with our people here. Number two thing she has emphasized, I hope the leaders are taking note, is how Edo State government can work with leaders in Europe. Apart from Edo State in Nigeria, the highest concentration of the Edos is in Europe. So now, intelligently, the Europe population is a strength and a power. So what the governance can do, whoever it is to come to Europe and work with leaders on ground. Like she just said, she's here, she understands the situations here. She's in a better position to give advice and also make an arrangement for the skill acquisition, the arrangement of the youths, Edo youths that are in Europe. So these are things Comrade Stanley should please take note as you report back this message, this meeting to His Excellency. These are vital points that should be taken note. Thank you very much.
Mr. Schengen.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone.
So we don't want to waste more time. It is just so sad that our APC chieftain couldn't connect. Hopefully, we will try and do something again next time, and I'll probably see how we make sure his connection comes through. So with this, I want to say thank you to every wonderful person that has come to this Edo State big debate, Schengen story platform for us to air our views. I want to say thank you to Honorable Victor from Germany. I want to say thank you to Comrade Jolly from the UK, Honorable Kehinde Osade from Greece. He missed coming in. Then we also have our great Nigerian man from Nigeria, Edo State, Comrade Stanley. So thank you all for coming. Hope to have a wonderful, we all pray for a safe and porous and orderly voting day on the 19th. On the 19th of September, we want everything to go well. We don't want any bloodshed. We don't want any violence. We don't want any, we want things to go smooth because this is our home. Our heart, at the end of the day, our heart and our mind, our soul, our thoughts are all goes back there. So we want peace for Edo State, and peace shall we have in Jesus' name. So I'm grateful. I want to say thank you. Do you have anything to say, sir?
Yes, please.
Okay.
In addition to that, please, thank you very much for reminding us about, the necessary peace and tranquility that we need during this election. I just want to remind our youth to please, for God's sake, don't throw your life away because of one politician who is going to win that election tomorrow and will not remember you during the inauguration. Have you ever seen the politicians, when they are being inaugurated after winning election, they invite their families, members of their families are the ones that take the front seats. Not the political talks, not those that fought for them, using weapons and, maiming others or, being destructive, that got invited. They leave their children abroad. I've met a lot of them here. They attend the best schools, go to Harvard, go to, London School of Economics, Cambridge, and so on and so forth. That's where they use our money to sponsor their children, right? So when it comes to election, they want you to go and fight for them and die for them. Some of you might end up losing your life by going to, fight for them on this day. Please don't do it. Don't involve yourself in violence. We know by the grace of God, our Father has already intervened has called them already and has spoken to them. And I'm very much sure that they've listened, So whoever is having tiger and lion will be able to tame their lions to stay at home on that day. If they're coming to cause trouble, let them stay at home. All we need is just peaceful election in those states, and by the grace of God, it shall be peaceful, and then the rightful person will emerge victoriously. So we'll keep our fingers crossed and then pray for Edo State. We're all looking forward to a better Edo State. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's a good one. So also, Mr. Eyitemi, do you want to say something before we round up? Mr. Eyitemi, and I want to recognize the presence of Mr. Honorable Emmanuel from Dublin. Honorable Emmanuel, we appreciate your presence and we thank you so much. So,
thank you, sir. Thank you. It's nice being around here. Thank you.
Go ahead, say something. You obviously have a lot to say. Go ahead, sir.
Well, my gentleman and friend, Mr. Victor Osaro, has said a lot. You see, our youth should be really, really educated. We've seen several violent elections in Edo State where lives were unnecessarily lost, where the sufferers of the decisions of the government are the ones dying. We've seen where politicians say, look, what I said 4 years ago was just political ranting. I didn't mean to say so. The person I called so is no more so is my best friend now. The people that died when he was saying that years ago, they are not alive again. People should not die again, so that in another 4 years' time, when they'll be saying what I'm saying now is not so again, I was under political whatever influence. Safe. Let this election be free and fair. It is when elections are free and fair that we can actually elect a leader that means good for our society, for our state, for our nation. I pray for a very peaceful election in Edo State. Edo State is part of me. My people are there. I am a very big in-law to Edo State. Edo State, success in Edo State is happiness to my friends here. Edo people dominate Dublin here. So I pray by the grace of God, the best candidate win. The best candidate that will have the love of Edo State at heart win. And I pray for a very peaceful election, no life lost, in Jesus' name. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you very much. We are all together. We are all one in this. And I'm happy everybody carries that same sentiment, that emotion for a good Edo State. Thank you so much, Honorable Emmanuel. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Honorable Jolly, do you want to wrap up, say something before we close? We are going off now.
Eyetemi is still waiting, I think so.
Eyetemi too is waiting. Okay, let Honorable open your unmute. Okay, sir.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate the messages sent by my other colleagues. I want to appeal to everyone in Edo State. Dissenting voices are part of opposition. We all cannot agree, but what we mustn't do, we should not go and kill ourselves for the political elites. It is not do or die. Go cast your votes and ensure your vote counts, and let the best candidate win.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let the best candidate win. So after on the 20th, we will all come together and say, yes, it is done, hopefully. Yes, Honorable Eyetemi, go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Schengen Magazine, for this wonderful Zoom meeting. I wanted to ask to my brother Stanley from Nigeria, but it's also, I hope maybe next time we'll have more opportunities to talk, because I don't want this conversation just to limit itself only to this Edo election.
That's
and after this,
yeah.
every Edo will be on their own, because if we start to be on our own, then we'll go back to the problem our honorable president from Ferrara just mentioned just now, that we will still be scattered, we will still be disorganized, that Nigerians in Europe will still remain with the problems, enormous problems that we have that make us leave Nigeria. So say thank you very much, Mr. Schengen Magazine. As you have connected us today, please try to connect us again.
Okay.
Even before and after the election, so that we will have the chance to start speaking to ourselves. Because the more we talk between ourselves, from Germany, from Holland, from France, and all over, the more we talk to ourselves, the more we can resolve our problems back home. And I will beg also everybody here to let their voice be heard in this Edo election in Nigeria. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you.
God bless
Thank
you
you
all.
very much.
Yes, next week, hopefully, we'll be having the normal virtual town hall meeting where we just discuss among ourselves. So hope to see some of you again next week, Saturday, in our virtual town meeting. Thank you. Go ahead.
Next week, like the chief editor has said, we are coming back. Every 2 weeks, we always have a town hall meeting with some reps from the embassies. The election is here. The election will continue to be here. But the love that we propagate will outlive them. So 2 weeks time, when you get a message, they get the information, the circular, spread it to other people so that they can join. If we can air our mind and tell those who are leading us, these are where we are crying and where it pins and pains us most, we will be able, to find a solution with them, and they will hear us. Gone are the days of a governor, a president, a senator, or political leaders feeling that they are above us. Rather, we should let them know that they are public servants. They are serving us. We hold the power. If the masses step out away from the platform, the politicians fall. Without us, there's no governor. Without us, there's no president. Without us, there's no senator. Let us come back here next 2 weeks so that we can join to fly the flag of Nigeria high. Schengen Story Magazine, we are always there for you. Don't forget your publications. If you are an entrepreneur, we are here to tell the world who you are. what you are doing to fly the flag of Nigeria and Africa high. Remember, we are the voice. If you don't say I am here, nobody knows you are there. So count on Schengen Story Magazine to carry you around wherever you want to go to. We thank you for being here today. We love you all. Madam in the house, we thank you. Honorable Johnny, Victor,
Thank you.
Michael, Yetemi, Silva, Honorable Emmanuel K. Bitoli, we thank you. We look forward to you bringing more people from Dublin for us. Germany, we want to see more people here. By next week, when we'll be having the next meeting, the town hall, I expect you people to bring in everybody here. You bring in five people and tell them to bring in 5 more people. Thank you very much. God bless you and have a nice weekend. Schengen Story Magazine, where to go. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good night. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.